begin the circle of spite.
Aggie, this always leads to trouble.
Oh, nonsense, sister. It's just a bit of fun, that's all. Sister Charity will watch the windows for us, won't she?
Why, of course, Sister Aggie.
Does anyone have any news to share on this beautiful harvest eve?
Oh, I have something quite interesting.
Hush, Charity. We're meant to be quiet in the house of worship. We couldn't want anyone to find us in there.
My apologies.
A little louder than that, Charity.
What do you have to share, Sister Charity? Speak clear and low, dear.
I seen Elizabeth's ankle today, and she received 3 lashings in the town center.
What a
3
bore.
lashings, good heavens, it shouldn't have been that severe. A slap on the wrist would have sufficed. It's not like she showed the whole town her knee.
Sister Charity, I find your news less than interesting. I have some real gossip to share if anyone is interested.
Do tell, Aggie. I find your gossip most scintillating.
Oh, Credence, you hound. Well, if you insist, I saw something most interesting in the courtyard last night. Tell me, dear Faith, do you still harbor feelings for our dearest Johnston?
What? No, of course not. How could you even ask such a thing?
Ooh, Faith Francis Johnston. Faith Francis Johnston.
Well, I saw our dearest Johnson in the courtyard last night with none other than Mercy Smith. They were embracing in the cold night air, their faces only inches apart.
Scandalous, but wasn't David to be engaged to Mercy?
She is. She told me so just the other day.
'Twould be a shame if your father were to discover Mercy's little indiscretion. What do you suppose would happen to them were someone to alert your father to their illicit affair?
Something quite violent, I presume.
I suppose the ministers may hang Mercy if David requests it, and they might even brand Johnson too if they do not do anything worse to him.
A public hanging would be quite the show. I wonder if David were to request it, if the ministers might hang Johnson as well.
He would deserve it. The audacity of some people.
Enough!
Oh dear, it seems we've upset our poor innocent Faith.
How tragic.
Sister Charity, would you go and make sure she's not upset?
Of course.
It appears we were too hard on her.
Were we?
There you are. I was looking all over for you.
Go away, Charity. I wish to be alone right now.
But Agatha told me to make sure you're okay.
And you do everything Agatha says, do you not?
I see how it is. Pity Faith.
Wait, Charity, I apologize for yelling at you. It's just Agatha. She upsets me sometimes. You understand, do you not?
No, not truly.
I can't believe Johnson chose her over me. He knows I wish to be with him. Mercy is already betrothed to David and doesn't need anyone. And she certainly doesn't deserve Johnston.
I'm in disbelief myself. I mean, you're way more beautiful and modest than thirsty Mercy. God's wrath will certainly seek its way towards her, and I don't even know what Johnson sees in her anyway. She's as dirty as a mule. If I was Johnson, I would invest in a bar of soap and a new pair of trousers.
Credence, dear, did not your mother warn you against chasing after young ladies?
Maybe. But my father tells me to chase after what I desire.
Are you implying that you desire me?
Perhaps.
Credence, you scoundrel.
Caught you, sly fox. What was that?
Interesting. I thought this library held only religious texts.
What is it, Aggie?
I'm not sure. It has no title. Amazing.
What is it?
Are you sure you want to know, dear Credence? Suppose we were to get caught. It is a rather dangerous book.
Caught with what? Tell me what it is.
It is a witch's book.
A witch's book? What would that be doing in the chapel?
Who cares? The real question is, what should we do with it?
Do you ever feel like Agatha does not truly like us?
No. Well, perhaps on occasion she can throw a cruel comment our way, but Agatha protects us. I would do anything for Agatha.
But would she do anything for you? I am not certain that she would.
I'm certain she would do anything for me.
Faith, Charity, you must come into the chapel. Agatha found something most interesting.
What is it?
You must come see for yourself.
Aggie, what is that?
This, my dear Faith, is our revenge.
Revenge. Aggie, what are you talking about?
I am talking about getting revenge on every person who ever did us wrong. Taking down the boy that broke your heart and the whore that stole him from you.
Aggie, what are you talking about? Revenge, what is that?
This book is our way of becoming more powerful than anyone else in this stupid little nothing town. This book is how we become witches. Credence, dear, would you mind going into town and inquiring for a black pot and several candlesticks?
Of course I will, Aggie.
Be certain to be discreet, dear. We would not want the town nosing into our private affairs.
I understand fully.
Agatha, I truly believe this plan will bring something awful upon us. We should not be playing with black magic as if it were some child's toy.
Quit fretting, Faith. It is just a bit of fun, that is all.
It is devil's worship.
Sister Charity, if I were to give you a piece of paper that lists herbs we need from the forest with pictures drawn next to them, do you feel certain you would be able to acquire them?
Why, of course.
Thank you, Sister Charity. Be careful with it. It's the only one we have.
Agatha, listen to me. This is not right. We should not be using that book.
Dear Faith, you worry too much. Do you not see that we are doing this all for you? Mercy has no business kissing David. Does it not anger you? Does not the Bible say, but do not stay there yourselves. Pursue your enemies and attack them in the rear. Do not allow them to enter into their cities, for the Lord, your God, has delivered them into your hand. Perhaps this book is God's way of encouraging us to smite down our enemies.
I doubt the Lord would want us to use black magic just to smite down our enemies, Aggie. The Bible also says, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thy loves thyself. And yes, it is true Mercy has sinned against me and her betrothed David. But we should let her punishment be carried out by God, not by us.
But why let God have all the fun? Would it not give you joy to have your enemies begging for forgiveness beneath your own shoe?
Beg for forgiveness? I am not certain.
Come, dear Faith, speak your mind. You will find no judges amongst us.
I suppose it would feel rather good to see Mercy punished for her actions. After all, we must face our sins one time or another, whether it be at the door of God or the door of another.
Then it is settled. We will enact Faith's revenge in the woods tonight.
I got everything you needed, Agatha. Now what?
Keep them in your basket, dear Charity. We must now adjourn to the forest where we may be safe from prying eyes.
Oh, I'm most excited, dear friends. Let tonight be the night we remember till the end of our days. I'm so excited I get to spend this night with all three of you. This is so exciting! I'm so excited! Are you not excited, Faith? Get excited!
Calm down, Charity. Take a deep breath. And yes, I suppose I am excited. However, I am also very nervous.
How do you mean?
Well, I feel as though by accomplishing the task we have set out to do tonight, we'll be going down a dark path we may never return from.
What?
It is nothing.
Come, sisters, we are ready to begin the ceremony. Tonight, we gather by moon and candlelight. We call upon our ancestors and ask for their help in accomplishing our task. We wish to destroy a woman who has earned our scorn. Together, we must chant her name down the line. Mercy Smith.
Mercy Smith.
Mercy Smith.
Mercy Smith.
Brother Credence, you may now place Charity's offerings into the pot.
Aren't witches usually supposed to get naked during these types of things?
What do you say, Agatha? Shall we strip ourselves of clothing?
Yes.
No.
It appears stripping will make our dearest Faith uncomfortable, so I suggest we complete the ritual with our clothing on for the time being.
Thank you.
We call upon our ancestors and ask for their help in destroying Mercy Smith. Hear me now and bend to my will.
What the
Did
hell?
she just cut herself?
Powerful Mother of Earth, taste my flesh and enact my will.
Is that it?
Hush, Charity. I don't know.
Well, she's bleeding over a black pot, and I'm afraid to ask her. Ask her.
Ask Agatha. I don't know.
Well, I'm not the one who kisses her in the church after Sunday school.
Yes, the ritual is finished. Now we all must journey home, whilst the fire beneath the pot burns out during the night, and picture Mercy Smith's face as we sleep. Come, Credence.
Wait for me.
You told Charity about Sunday school.
Come on, Faith, I want to walk home with you.
Oh, good morning, Eliza. How are you?
Was it true, Eliza? Did you really receive 3 lashings for revealing your ankle in public?
Quiet, Credence. I'm here to talk with Agatha, not you.
Relax, dear Elizabeth. He is simply attempting to ruffle your feathers. What do you have to share?
I am surprised you have yet to hear. It is all over town. It is about Mercy Smith.
Does that mean it worked?
Hush, Charity.
Spill, dear Elizabeth. I do not like to be kept waiting.
Well, this morn, David was on his way to visit Mercy when he heard a terrible scream come from within her cottage. Of course, he rushed in right away to make sure she was unharmed. When he got inside, he found Mercy in her room. It was full of toads and frogs.
Amazing. And how on earth did that happen?
No one is quite sure. However, there is something worse. Mercy's hair had been cut off her head while she was sleeping yestereve. And whomever was responsible used red candle wax to stick her hair to the ceiling in a demonic pattern. She is petrified.
Oh, and she had the most beautiful hair, too.
So no one knows how Mercy's hair was cut off during the night, or toads and frogs appeared in her room? Well, and you did not hear this from me, but the town suspects witches are to blame.
Witches? Why would they think that?
Well, when something unexplainable happens, the town usually points to witchcraft. It is not uncommon.
It is not uncommon at all, Faith. Calm yourself.
Thank you for your news, dear Elizabeth. You may go now.
What did we do? What did we do?
Oh, Faith, calm down. Take a deep breath. What did we do again?
Well, my dearest Charity, we have succeeded in accomplishing our task. Spectacular, is it not?
No, it is not. What we have done is just terrible.
Was this not what you wanted, Faith?
Yes, I thought you wanted revenge on Mercy. Is that not why we went out into the woods late last night to place a curse upon him? Agatha even put her own hand to make this whole thing happen, did she not? It was quite frightening.
Faith here, I know you are concerned about our actions last night, but allow me to question you on a few things. Was Mercy physically harmed in any form?
No.
Did our actions significantly alter her life?
Well, no.
Then enough! All we did was place a harmless curse upon Mercy that caused her to lose some hair and frogs to appear in her room. We did nothing wrong, Faith.
I suppose you are right.
Of course she's right. Agatha always is.
Yes, she is most definitely always right.
What is next for us?
I say we go after Johnston next. It is not right to kiss an engaged woman and hurt your feelings after all, right, Faith? I can go in the woods and gather some more materials for you, Agatha.
We are not doing the ritual again, Charity.
Faith is right. Doing the same ritual again would be rather risky. I say we do something bigger this time, something that will put our dearest Johnson in his place.
What is it?
Are we really going to do this again at the possible cost of our immortal souls?
Oh, Faith, I would sell my immortal soul for a lot less. Credence, love, perhaps you would like to perform this night's ritual. Last night was rather tiring, and if you would wish to perform the ritual, I would have no objections.
Of course I will, Agatha. But you seem to like to do these things yourself. Are you sure?
I would trust you with anything, Credence. You stay here. Faith will be back in only a moment. Try and keep her calm. She's not been handling things incredibly well recently. I shall go help Charity in the forest. Goodbye, love.
May we never be apart long. Beautiful eve, is it not, Faith?
I suppose it is.
How are you?
I am fine, I suppose.
Is something on your mind?
I just can't help but think about how wrong this feels.
Listen, Agatha would never do anything to harm us. She is only hoping to liven up the dreadfully dull lives we currently live. I know your father's a minister, and you're worried about your immortal soul. But I believe we would know if we were selling our soul to the devil, do you not?
You are right, of course. I am dreadfully sorry. I often wonder why you and Agatha would wish to be my friends. You are so much braver than I am. I know why Charity would wish to be my friends, because she's...
Slow.
I'm certain there's another word to describe her, but that will do. So I know why Charity would wish to be my friends. But how about you and Agatha?
I'm afraid that is a question only you can ask Agatha. Only she knows what goes on in that beautifully complex mind of hers.
I suppose you are right.
Right about what?
Agatha being beautiful.
Thank you, dear Credence. Oh, well then, are we ready to begin the ceremony?
Charity, did you get the necessary supplies?
Oh, yes. Charity did quite well for herself. She had already found most of the herbs in the forest before I even found her.
Here you go, Credence. I think I have everything you needed.
Thank you, sweet Charity. Shall we begin?
Yes.
We are gathered here tonight to call upon the unseen forces of the world, to enact our revenge on a man by the name of Johnston James.
Johnston James.
Johnston James.
Johnston James.
Hear us, spirits, and enact our plea.
Did he just kill a mouse?
Yes, he did. Well done, Credence. I am most impressed. Well then, shall we return home and view the carnage next morning?
Carnage? What carnage? Agatha, I thought you said you weren't going to hurt anyone.
Worry not, dear Faith. She means nothing by it. She just has a way of saying things that inspire fear in people.
Just relax, Faith. Agatha knows what she's doing.
Yes. Shall we go?
I'm just worried for you is all. There's some odd happenings going on now.
Oh, Oh, but Agatha's mother lets her stay out late. Just an hour after moonfall is all I ask.
With what happened to young Mercy and Johnston, I don't know. We should all be cautious now, Charlie.
Johnston? What happened to him?
Have you not heard? When young Master Johnston awoke this morning, his room was filled with dead mice. Their intestines sprawled out among the ground in the shape of a pentagram. The smell was horrendous, only to be masked by the scent of warm candle wax. He asked me to clean it, but I said no, sir. My gout was too bad, and I had to go clean at the church in the morning. He must find someone else to clean his home.
Perhaps I can go over there later and clean it for him, Mother. I mean, we could use the coin after all, and I don't mind awful smells. I can just plug my nose like this. See?
You should spend your time finding a husband to take care of your widowed mother. What about young Credence? He's a strapping lad, is he not? You spent an awful lot of time with him.
Mother, Credence has already promised his heart to Agatha, even though he may not have said so in so many words.
That's a shame. He would have made a wonderful husband.
Charity, dear. Credence, Faith, and I are going out to the forest. Would you like to join us?
Coming, Agatha.
Do you have to go out tonight? It is going to be an awful night. There's a storm coming.
Don't worry, Mother. I promise I will remain safe. You do the same.
Charity, have you heard the news?
The news of Johnston? Just dreadful, is it not? To wake up and find your room be filled with dead mice? I suppose Faith is satisfied with the last night's outcome of the ritual?
I concur. However, she doesn't appear to be too satisfied.
Faith, what is the matter? Are you not happy? Johnston received his punishment on his sinful action against you. I would have thought you would have been enthralled. Speak now and identify what is bothering you.
Johnston came to my house this morning.
Did he now? What did he have to say for himself?
He was so pale, he was shivering and sweating at the same time.
It sounds as though as if he was afraid.
Interesting.
He was shaking so hard he could barely speak. He was trying to tell me something about bad omens and how he had done something wrong. And he wanted to confess all of his sins to my father.
Sounds like we accomplished our task.
He got down on his knees and begged me to forgive him. He told me everything about him and Mercy, and then he started to cry.
He started to cry? Oh no, that is not good.
He was terribly upset. I feel as though we need to stop.
Was this not what you wanted, Faith?
No, this is not what I wanted. Maybe at the beginning, but now?
Now what? What, Faith? Speak your mind. What, Faith? You were eager to share your thoughts before. Share them now. Speak and we shall listen.
I feel as though we need to stop.
Faith, dear. I know you are worried about our actions, and I know you will not believe me, but I am worried as well. What we are doing could get us hung, or worse. I imagine being burned at the stake is quite painful. However, as I have continuously told you, we are in no danger. But I guess if the rituals upset you this much, we shall stop.
Really think
After one more ceremony.
Thank God. I thought all my hard work was going to waste. I spent all morning gathering the necessary supplies for tonight's ceremony.
What ceremony? What ceremony?
Yes. What ceremony?
The ceremony to end all ceremonies. What a fitting title.
Agatha has big plans for tonight.
She does? Who are we going to curse next?
Charles Williamson.
Charles Williamson? As in the town drunk? Faith, do you not see? If anyone deserves to be cursed upon, it is him. He has hassled so many women throughout his days.
Yes, it is true he's not a good man, but he still does not deserve...
Faith, will you just let us enjoy this last ritual? We are your friends, no?
You are my friends. I suppose one more ritual would not hurt.
Hurrah, everyone is happy, more or less. Shall we go? in the afterlife. We call upon you today to help us punish a truly awful man. A man who preys upon women in the night. A man who takes advantage of everyone whom he comes in contact with. A man by the name of Charles Williamson.
Charles Williamson.
Charles Williamson.
Faith. I told you should have stopped. This is a sign. This is divine intervention. I have to go tell my father. Faith, no! Stop! He will hang us! Credence, go after her. We will all be hung. Charity, dear, breathe. You must breathe. Relax. It was just a bit of lightning. That is all.
Faith is going to tell her father, isn't she? My mother needs me. She can hardly work with her gout.
Relax, dear Charity. I will not allow Faith to harm us. I refuse to. I will not allow her to destroy our lives.
Just be quiet.
They're gonna kill us, aren't they?
Hush, Charity. Can't you see Agatha's thinking?
Oh, I'm just afraid. I do not want to die. We should have never played with that stupid book.
It was not the book's fault. It was Faith. How could you, Faith? You have ruined us. I will never forgive you for this for as long as I live, even though it might not be that much longer.
Please, we were dealing with the devil. I thought my father could save our souls. I never thought he would put us on trial.
That is because you never think. I never dealt with the devil, you stupid girl! Look, Faith, forgive me for shouting. Do not worry. I will handle everything. When you go in for the trial, tell them everything about finding the book in the chapel and cursing Mercy and Johnson and the lightning last night. I will handle the rest.
You will.
Thank you, Peggy. Thank you. Listen close and listen well, you two. This has to go off without a hitch. We must blame everything on Faith. She found the book in the chapel. She wanted to curse Mercy and Johnston. We had no idea what she was doing until it was too late.
But we cannot let her take all the blame. It is not fair.
Do you know what is not fair? Faith telling her father that we are witches, that we are condemned to burn at the stake and hang in the gallows because she could not keep her mouth silent.
Credence is right, dear. There's no other path for survival. Dear Charity, be calm and listen well and listen close. Our stories must not differ in any form.
We were in the chapel, and I had just left with Charity because Agatha had told me some upsetting news about Johnson, who I quite fancied. When me and Charity came back into the church, Agatha and Credence had a book. I suppose they found it in the chapel. Agatha wanted to place a curse upon Mercy, and so we went into the woods that night, and we placed a curse upon her that caused her hair to fall off and dead mice to appear in her room. The next night, we placed a similar curse upon Johnson that caused dead mice to appear in his room. Then last night, he had planned to curse Charles Williamson. But before the ritual was finished, lightning struck a tree and it frightened me, so I went to go tell my father about what we had done. I'm not trying to validate our actions. I just believe that we should all have the chance to redeem ourselves in God's eyes. We were simply ignorant kids. We had no idea the danger our actions could have caused.
Thank you for your testimony, Faith. Could we please have Charity Bendall take a stand?
Forgive me.
Miss Bendall, you were brought before me today accused of witchcraft. Your friend has painted a vivid account of the events that unfurled these past few days. We would now like to ask for your account of last week's transgressions.
Your Honor, 3 moons ago, we were in the chapel when we found the book.
Who amongst you was the first to hold this book?
It was Faith.
She found the book in the chapel.
At least that's what she told us.
For all I know, she could have had the book the whole
She
time.
was the one that wanted to perform the rituals.
Faith had us perform
The rituals were all her idea.
What?
It's my fault, really.
Agatha will say that it's
Because
her
she was the one who told
I
Faith.
told Faith about Mercy
fault.
and
But it was
Johnston.
not her fault.
How could she have known that Faith would react in such a way?
Faith wanted revenge on Mercy and Johnston.
She was the minister's daughter, so we all trusted her.
We believed her when she told us that what we were doing was not wrong.
She told us God would have wanted us to take revenge on them.
So we performed the first ritual.
The first ritual caused Mercy to lose all of her hair.
Dogs to appear in her room.
That is when I first realized something was wrong.
Agatha wanted us to stop.
But Faith convinced her to stop worrying.
That is not what happened. You are lying.
The next night, she wanted to curse Johnston James.
So we went back into the woods.
She crushed a mouse.
She crushed a mouse.
She crushed a living mouse in her bare hands. That's when we knew it was time to stop.
But Agatha said one more ritual.
One more curse before we could put this whole thing behind
That
us.
is not the truth. Tell the truth.
She wanted to curse.
Charles Williamson.
Charles Williamson.
Charles Williamson.
He's a horrible man, so we believed her when she told us.
She told us it was our divine duty.
Our divine duty to punish him.
That is when the lightning struck.
Lightning struck.
Lightning struck a tree and it started on fire.
Fire.
Fire. It was a sign.
It was a sign we needed to stop.
Agatha told her.
I told her that what we were doing was wrong and that we had to stop before things went too far.
Agatha wanted to tell somebody about what we had done, but
Faith got angry, and so we could never tell a soul.
Faith wanted to. Agatha was brave. She told Faith that she was going to tell. Agatha started to run.
She started to run, but Faith caught up to her, and
Faith had a dagger and she cut Agatha's hand.
Agatha was bleeding, and
Faith ran off to tell everybody about what we had done
that we had performed the rituals.
so that she could appear innocent.
We've heard testimony from all of your friends today, young Agatha. Faith would have us to believe that you were the head of this whole operation. Young Credence and Charity, however, vouched for your innocence. What do you have to say for your defense?
Aggie, please, you don't have to do this.
Your Honor, it was Faith. Everything was Faith. She found the book in the chapel. She wanted to curse Mercy and Johnston, and she promised that she would protect us. And then she betrayed us. She ran into town and told everyone that we were witches, knowing fully well that we would be hung for our actions. Your Honor, I ask that you save Faith from such a fate. She does not deserve to be hung. She deserves something much worse. Exile her.
No, please.
Exile her from
Please
the only
stop.
home
You
she
don't
has
have
ever
to
known.
do this.
Rip her away from all the friends she was so
She
eager
is
to
lying.
betray.
Don't
Only
listen
a
to her.
punishment such as that would fully punish her sinful deeds.
It is my ruling that Charity, Agatha, and Credence shall be branded for their part in the witches' ceremony. As for Faith Abbott, she shall be sentenced to eternal banishment from our town. May her soul companions take her out to the forest and leave her, where she may face her punishment alone.
Please, you don't have to do this. We can go back in town.
Quiet, you ignorant girl. How can you stand here begging for forgiveness after what you have done? Agatha, I must excuse myself before I do something I regret.
Please, Charity, why are you doing this? You know as well as I that Agatha and Credence are more to blame than me or you.
You are so stupid, Faith. Can you not see? Agatha simply did what she had to do in order to protect Credence and I. I was right. Agatha would do anything for me, including destroying a close friend. I hate you.
How could you do this? Having me take the blame for all of your actions. You will burn in hell for this, Agatha. Mark my words. You were dealing with the devil. I had no choice but to tell.
I never dealt with the devil, you stupid girl. It was me. It was all me. And if you had taken even a single moment to think things through, you would have seen that. It was me. Someone had to punish them. Mercy cheated on David, and his only crime was loving her too much. And Johnson, he is even worse, Faith. He knew you fancied him, but he did not care, because that is the kind of man he is. The people in this town are all hypocrites. They preach about being godly and keeping their souls clear of sin, but they all lie.
Aggie, what did you do?
I went through Mercy's window in the night. She never latched it shut, and I cut off the hair that she was so fond of, and I dumped a bucket of swamp frogs into her room. It was a harmless prank, and she deserved it. As for Johnston, I took the mice my mother kills from my cupboards, and I went to his house in the night. He let me in without much thought. He was too busy thinking of ways to get underneath my skirt, because that is the kind of man he is. And then when he was fast asleep, I laid the mice out all over his floor and left in the dead of night, and I did it all for you. I did everything for you because I love you, Faith, just as I love Credence and Charity.
Agatha, I didn't know. How was I supposed to know?
You should not have had to know, Faith. You should have realized that by going to your father, you were assuring Credence, Charity, and I's death. But you did not care, did you? The tyranny of faith. Under God's rule, we have no freedom, and you have never realized that. Now, Charity will never be able to find a husband. She will die alone in old strangers, and Credence, his family's blacksmith business will fail because of you. You have ruined us. We will be branded for life. Here, to keep your nights less than dark.
They're red wax.
I would do anything for the ones I love, Faith. Would you?
What have I done to deserve such a slow and enduring fate? I have strayed from the forces of evil and followed God's path since my baptism. Although my death is almost certain, I do hope that no one will fall prey to the sinister acts of Agatha and Credence ever again. Oh, how I wish everyone would not serve God in such a hateful way, because in the end, the flesh that entraps our soul will eventually rot away and show the pure purity everyone beholds within. I do hope that God will forgive my transgressions, but if he doesn't, where will I spend all of eternity? What was that?